welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the remote supercharged EM2. So this is just part 2. I haven't gotten the supercharger yet. I'm just gonna go over everything I've done since the last video in order to prepare for it and the general update for the supercharger itself. So the mounts where it goes on, where the AC compressor is, where the supercharger goes, those have been CNC'd, and those are supposed to be getting shipped out very soon, along with it's either a casing to a supercharger or a 3D printed version of the supercharger I'm going with, something along those lines, so I can continue to test fit in the car and get the car ready for it. And then once the car itself is ready for it, I can take the car down to Oregon and get it professionally installed. So I've done a half radiator of a 90 Civic. That wasn't too bad. I did fuel pressure regulator with return setup, Works fuel pump. Also, I have the 1000cc FIC injectors to go with it. But in a 4-bar speed factory map sensors. But the injectors and the map sensor will be installed when we start tuning. Because right now I'm able to just run it like this on my current tune until we get the supercharger installed. I got rid of my original catch can. It didn't have a drain on it. So to drain it, you have to remove it completely, and it just kind of got annoying. Also, it took up a lot of space for intercooler piping. So I went with another Amazon catch can and ran the same AN10 lines, except I shortened them up and used different fittings. So that wasn't a problem. I put it up next to where all my other reservoirs are, so it's simple and easy to take care of. Then my fuel pressure regulator, it's up and over by the, just above where the loom goes through the firewall for the engine harness. But yeah, I can give you a look around at everything I've done so far. So here you can see my new catch can. I need to clean this up a little bit for where the old one was, but yeah, you unscrew it like an oil filter, it drops down, has a little, dipstick. You can check the level, so that's really convenient. Here's my return setup. I'm using the same fuel rail and the fuel line from the firewall I had before, but I set that return to the fuel pressure regulator, and then that goes up into the tank. So that wasn't too bad. The fuel pump was super easy to put in because the fuel pump assembly and all that's all like clipped together. That was super easy to deal with. You can see a little bit. You can see where that lower radiator hose is rubbing on the subframe. It's just got a little bit of pressure. So what we're gonna do is, I have a swivel thermostat, and we're gonna have to change this lower radiator hose anyway. We're gonna put it to where it goes straight across and then down, rather than down and around, so we can create more room in here for the supercharger. Because now that I did this half radiator, I gained all this room, so that's really convenient. It doesn't fit too bad. I did a custom bracket and had to cut out the center support for the hood, so this is not very sturdy now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this hood latch, and I'm going to do proper hood pins in the hood. So, which I've wanted to do that for a while, but that's another reason for me to do it. See, I got my R888Rs on there right now, and it is an air-to-air setup. So I have the intercooler. I'm going with a 90mm K-series throttle body, 1000cc FIC injectors, and the swivel thermostat. We'll get all that fabbed and installed without problem. And over here I got my universal piping kit. That'll all be, it's all good stuff though. It's got all the braiding in it, so when I go to get the supercharger installed, all this is going to be fabricated to fit. It's going to go across and around. So the outlet on that supercharger is going that way through the intercooler, and then we're going to make an adapter. We're literally eliminating this throttle body to make it just an adapter to this intake. I'll wrap it around up and into the intake, but then my 90mm throttle body, that is going to be on the end of the supercharger, and we're going to probably run the intake somewhere around here. That's why I did such a slim fan. This car, these engine bays are tiny compared to a lot of Civics, surprisingly. So we got to do a lot of different things. Now, if this is like, if you're using this kit on like an EK or an EG, you just have to use these K-series relocation hose like I did, but you still have so much more room to work with this kit. So this is pretty exciting. We're getting really close. I'm going with coated rotors on the supercharger. Also, it's getting ported, so we're going for at least 400 to 450 horsepower. It's going to be fun. It's going to be mounted like a centrifugal supercharger, but I'm going to be pushing the horsepower of like low boost on turbo, so, and have the whine of a root supercharger. So that's going to be a blast. This is going to be pretty fun. This is just the quick update I wanted to make. I'll continue to make updates as, you know, stuff progresses, and thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please don't forget to leave them down and below in the comments. I'll try and check them as soon as I can.